Welcome back. This is Chosenarchitect, and today we're jumping back into some more All the Mod 7 to the Sky. Hopefully you guys are ready. So I know the last few episodes have been kind of technical, and I think it's time for us to sort of take a break and kind of touch grass. Yeah, that's what we're... I made that joke. No, but in all seriousness, I think today we should kind of touch on mystical agriculture and start our production of resources and resources automation. There's many ways to do this, many ways. But today I want to get a foundation for getting crops harvested and collected and all that good stuff. And I think that we may end up getting into industrial foregoing, but we're going to find out kind of what's the best way. I know there are some new mods in here, and I'm kind of looking forward to that. So it is time to get into mystical agriculture. I've got my areas set out. I thought I was going to do like two sides, realized probably not going to fit too well in here. So I went with this right here. I know it's not a perfect 9x9, but that's fine. I don't really need the whole thing. But I do want to set this up, and I want to start I want to work with this this harvester pylon. This is actually kind of new, and so I do want to test this out. Let's go ahead and test it out on one for right now. This can be waterlogged, so you place it in the water, and we can set this to a 9x9 and working status on. And supposedly, when we start to make our plants and place our plants, it should harvest. This is place inventory above pylon. Oh, why does it got to go above? That's going to make things a little bit harder for me. We might end up setting this up a little bit differently, but we can put an inventory above it. And apparently this should harvest. It says tool required for operation. Oh, what kind of hose do we have? We can make an all the modium hoe that will never break. First, I'm going to test out with a diamond hoe. I'm assuming we put it in here, or do we right click the tool on here? I don't know. I'm just going to throw it inside, and let's get some seeds. I know we're going to be messing with mystical, but I want to test it with some seeds. Go ahead and grow this. There we go. So it's nice and grown, and it is harvesting and throwing it in here. Now, what's the durability doing on our tool? Okay, so it is using durability for this pylon to work, and it does seem pretty fast. So one of the first things I need to do to get into mystical, we already have tons of inferium. We got this from sieving. Thankfully, that's a lot of inferium. So it's going to make getting into this mod pretty simple, so long as we have some auto crafting set up. Now, I want to test and see how auto crafting works with the upgrading of this when we make like an infusion crystal. So all we have to do is make a master infusion crystal, get it up to a master infusion crystal, and see how this works. Now, to do this, it is going to take a little bit. We should be able to at least get a master infusion crystal today. But as you can see, we have to take inferium essence and then use this the standard infusion crystal. We have to use this to upgrade our inferium essence. So we're going to bump that up to the prudentium. Bam, we make a bunch of this, right? And as you can see, that crystal is already gone. So we're going to need a few of these crystals. But then we're going to take the prudentium and it's going to get upgraded. So, and just like that, master infusion crystal. My goodness, that was easy. That was a lot easier than I was expecting. So yes, I'm going to need to make this. Boop, some premium gemstone, and boop, we have ourselves a master infusion crystal. Perfect. We're completing quests already. Look at this. So first seed we need to make is inferium seeds. It just literally requires seeds and inferium. So let's make a few of them. Of course, it doesn't matter how many, but I want to go ahead and plant a few. Now, I'm pretty sure... Oh, wait, whoa. Us crouching insta-grows them? What? That's kind of cool. So, I think crouching... I think this was disabled early on with the crouching. Yeah, we can crouch and grow this. That's incredibly fast. Okay. That's one method. There's also another method with project. If you just want to stand here and let them grow... the harvest god band, while it's in your inventory and you're standing around the plants, it will harvest or it will go ahead and grow these. The problem with this is you're going to run into a problem if you put it on a pedestal. It's going to just insta break the plants. So we probably won't be using that. I was thinking though, another method to grow this incredibly fast is going to be using integrated dynamics. So yeah, at this point, I was incredibly wrong. I thought that using integrated dynamics in combination with a watering can and a player simulator was going to allow me to insta-grow these things. Boy, was I wrong. Man, all the fun always gets ripped out of things. This used to be so nice where you could automate this and this player automation is gone. But, all right, well, the player simulator does not allow the use of the watering can. So we are going to have to find another solution for this. Basically, I had this set up to where it would right click the watering can and it would do the same thing that this is supposed to do. As you can see, the watering can, though, it doesn't grow very fast. I mean, I can just do this faster than using the water can. So I don't know why that was disabled. Either way, we've got to come up with a better solution. As you can see, that was a complete and total utter derp. But with that, I decided to go ahead and jump into the automation of essences. And I can tell you, I'm so happy that it ended up working out. We are going to set up and try to do the auto crafting in here. I have very low expectations for this. All right, so let's first up say this, and we are going to hand place this in just to make sure everything's good. That is placed in, and then we are going to place this into here, just anywhere. Let's do it over here for right now. And then let's go ahead and set up another crafting for this to go to here. And I mean, honestly, just testing these two should tell me if this is going to work or not. So let's throw the Master Infusion Crystal in here. And let's go ahead and say, I want to craft 10 of these. Will it work? Yes, actually it does work. Okay. But is this the fastest way to do it? I don't think so. Because this is going to take a long time to process. Unless we have every single one of these that they are in fully upgraded. It's going to take a long time, as you can see, doing each one of these over and over again. But hey, it did work, and we do have the ingredients. I am blown away by that, actually. You know what? We might actually use this. Let's go ahead and let's go ahead and test this out. So all we got to do is make the rest of them for the auto crafting. So we'll do this. Make sure we put the Master Infusion Crystal in. There we go. There's the other one. And then last but not least, we have our premium that we're going to need. Make sure you put the crystal in here, by the way. Otherwise, it may not work. So let's take all of these patterns out. And I want to make sure that these patterns are in their own chamber here. Let's break this open. And let's just say we are going to put them in one of these empty pattern crafters. This is probably a good one. We can actually move this to here. So this is an empty one right here. So we can throw all of these patterns in. Now, this is going to be connecting to this potential module, this module, and this module right here, this molecular assembler. What we could do is maybe stack these up though, and have this one in its own, this one in its own, and this one in its own, going up the tier here. That might be even faster. So this one can go here, this one can go here, and this one can go here, and then this one can go here. Okay, so they are going up the stacks. Now we need to make sure that every single one of these in the stacks are the molecular assemblers have their max upgrades in them. So that is going to be some crafting in itself. So with all the speed upgrades in there, let's see how fast this bad boy crafts. I am kind of excited. So Supremium. Let's see how quickly we can craft Supremium. Let's do, I don't think we can do a stack of them, but let's do 32. And okay, so it is going to require multiple infusion crystals. That's what I was worried about. And I'm glad we have all these resources available, because this is, like, if you do this early on, this is one of the things that you're going to end up having a problem with, is you're probably going to run out of the Inferium Essence, and you're just not going to have enough. And that is going to pose a little bit of a problem. All right, so last but not least, our last Master Infusion. And now let me go ahead and separate these. We should have everything we need. So I'm going to make sure these are all dispersed. So that goes there. Put that one, sorry, this one there, this one here, and this one here. Perfect. All right. So let's test out how fast it is to craft Supremium. And honestly, any of this is going to be faster than crafting it by hand. So let's just go ahead and craft one. And we can look here and see how quick this is working. Bam, already crafted up one Supremium. So it only takes a couple of seconds to craft a single Supremium. And there we go. We can now start working towards just about any seed that we need. Any seed can be made now that we have all of the essence ready to go. So now that that is all automated, it's time to go back to trying to get our Inferium essence to grow faster. Oh, what a grind. So if you're wondering at this point, what am I actually trying to do? And if I didn't explain it well enough, I want to find a quick way to grow these Inferium seeds without needing me to be here. Like, I shouldn't have to be here, right, for these to grow. And they are going to grow incredibly slow. Even with, you know, this next to them. Like, there is a way to grow them a little bit faster, but it does require a massive setup. And at the moment, this is the free space I have underneath here. Not a whole lot, right? So we would have to expand way off and have this like crazy ugly thing that goes underneath the mystical agriculture crops, which I am not a huge fan of. And I can show you here. It requires these pylons. Now the crafting of the pylons, I don't mind. Like, this is fine for the craft. It does speed it up, and then you have to, of course, you place down so many of these underneath here, like 12 blocks worth underneath. Then you can place these underneath those, and so far, and then you end up with an entire chunk filled with these blocks. Just for one crop, right? Not something I really want to do. So I'm trying to figure out if there's a better way. Now, Industrial Foregoing does have a way, but we're going to have to get into the plastic. But I think we can actually get around that. So today we might actually get into Industrial Foregoing. It's going to be like a double video. So to get into the industrial, the main thing that's a pain to set up is the plastic, but we can make plastic bees. And we already have the setup for them. So let's go ahead and head over to our other area, and we will start generating some plastic from our bees. All we need is a resin and a lumber bee. So to get ourselves a lumber bee, all we need is a yellow carpenter bee and ourselves a green carpenter bee. And as you can see, we get ourselves a lumber bee. Oh yeah, I need a cage. That would probably help, wouldn't it? So put a cage here and then simulate our bee doing the whole breedathon thing. And there we go. And then we get to convert this into an adult. And then I take the lumber bee and the resin bee, and these two bees should give me a plastic bee, which is just the bee that I wanted. And I'm guessing that these are going to also take regular flowers and a cage. And there we go. We already have some plastic combs. Perfect. And I can take these. Oh, I did not mean to put those into my storage system. I need to place them in here. And there we go. We got plastic building up. Oh, thank goodness. You know what? I just did all of that stuff only to realize that I'm going to need latex anyways. And I'm pretty sure there's no way to get like plastic back into latex. Oh, because yeah, I have to make myself a dissolution chamber. And this is how we're actually going to get the things that we're going to need, because I want a plant fertilizer. And a plant fertilizer requires a simple machine frame, which requires latex. And we also need latex anyways to be able to make our machine upgrades. Ah, yes. The mini upgrades and range upgrades that we're going to need. Now, I guess there are some advantages to using that bee, because I don't have to have a latex processing unit, which is what we'd actually use to process latex to turn into plastic. So I actually can go ahead and make things like a block placer, like right away. And this is going to allow me to use logs, and I would prefer to use acacia logs, because I'm pretty sure these will give the most amount of latex. So if you look at the fluid extractor, you can see that acacia gives us 4 millibuckets per work process, whereas everything else is 2 or 1. Definitely worth going for this, and I'm pretty sure I have a bunch of those inside my EMC table. Speaking of EMC, in this update, there was some changes that did add the Eternalist fuels. Oh, it's so nice that these are in here. It just, yeah, instead of having to automate them all the time, which, yeah, become kind of old. And it's probably actually going to change the way we do things, since those fuels are automatable that way. Oh, that's going to make things so much easier. I can totally get into pedestals now, and we can totally dive deeper into Project E for sure. So a cheap and easy setup for this is just to place the logs in here. I am going to need points. Just going to make some points for, you know, just future use as well. And then flux networks. I think, yeah, I have my wand in here, so this is going to make things a little bit easier. I need a way to get back here. Let's pop back here real quick and put this in, and then I can boop. Oh, I copied that. I did not mean to copy that. I meant to paste. But yeah, this needs to be selected network and set network to 2. And then we can copy said network and paste that to any of the other cables we put in. As you can see, the logs have been placed. I'm going to need fluid extractors, preferably on each side, just like this, and let them slurp away. Now, of course, we can also provide these with power, just like this. And then I can click this on here, making that really easy. And so these are generating now. 2 of them is pretty slow, but once we get some speed upgrades with this bad boy, oh, things are going to start really, really speeding up. So let's go ahead and on top, apply this. And then I can go ahead and, for right now, hook in some pipes. Ultimate pipes are a little overkill, but it'll get the job done. So let's go ahead and slap these onto the side. Set that to pull. And as you can see, that is going to start pulling those liquids into the center here. And we are going to need to set up a drawer. I think a barrel should work for right now. I'm using barrels for like everything. And then thankfully, with this setup, we can go ahead and make some speed upgrades or upgrades from industrial. Let's see, industrial foregoing, and they change the way these look, but they're all going to work the same. Let's see, we have range upgrades. Where are our efficiency? So here we have speed tier 1 and tier 2. So this is speed 1, which is going to use gold. But I don't think you have to have the speed 1 to make the speed 2. So you might as well just make the speed 2 if you have the diamonds available. It's going to take 1 bucket to do that. And we already put those speeds upgrades inside of our fluid extractors. My plan is to have this set up in its own location. I just don't know where I'm going to put it yet. I might have to create a whole nother sub area for this. But for right now, my main goal is to at least get 1 machine made. So first things first, let's go ahead and get the frame we need, because we are making that plant fertilizer. We'll worry about upgrades later. The plant fertilizer is 100% the thing I need. I believe we can even accelerate this, make it a little bit faster. There we go. Simple machine frame. And I want to test this out. It's another thing I'm going to be testing, because I am not positive if this is going to speed the growth at all. But the best way to test it is just to do it. So because we don't have any range upgrades, it's only going to affect the block that is directly in front of it. So I know we can run around. That's going to cause these to grow. But I want to test and just see if this is even remotely going to speed these up. If not, we still have to find another solution for this. So bone meal, which we should have tons of. If I place this in, is this even remotely going to affect this? And that looks like a no. Wow. So even though that didn't work, it did cause me to kind of look a little bit further into this. And we do have farming with blockheads, and I've also made a lily pad of fertility. Lily pad does work. I just tested it. And the farmland, I remember it used to work, at least in all the other mods. I think if you take this, and I don't remember if it was specifically this particular fertilizer, because I think there was another one, increases crop output, which I don't know if that affects this. And then this one, which prevents trampling. So we have all of these different types, but I know this one speeds up. So I believe if I break this, and I place this here, this should increase this, unless it also still is utilizing that bone meal effect, which, as we found out at SR foregoing, is just not, it's not doing it. So I don't see any direct feedback, but I can show you here. These lily pads do work because all I have to do is just right click once on this and they're insta grown. So lily pads of fertility may be the way to go. And if you're wondering how I got a lily pad, the Twilight Forest, you can find those big lily pads in the swamp. And you can find these right here, these huge lily pads. And all you got to do is just put some powder, the transformation powder that you get in the chests, and it makes a lily pad. But yeah, anyways, there's also other ways of getting lily pads as well, but that's just one of many. Once we get nature's essence, that might be the best way to get them. But yeah, we might just have to place a bunch of lily pads. I wish there was better ways of doing this. So yeah, I think this is going to work. I went ahead and put the lily pads here. I mean, all of that work just to get to this point, and I think it's going to work out. I think we're going to use these lily pads of fertility for right now, at least to build up our inferium essence. Now, the only thing is to use this, which is fast enough. I did put an Aldemodium hoe in here, which is indestructible. I don't know if having enchants on here affects this or not. That's something I can always test out later. But yeah, if I put inferium in here, technically I already have inferium set up over here. So it should just go into this and we should be good. That actually saves me a whole lot. So long as this is, yeah, it's actually putting the inferium in there. So yeah, it's working. And if I want to speed this up, all I gotta do is hold right click on here, and oh my gosh, if only we had a way to use this tool, that would be fantastic, wouldn't it? But of course all the fun gets pulled out. Oh, I wish we were, I mean, I guess I could change it myself in the config and make these usable, but people who play on servers, unfortunately you wouldn't be able to do it. So I'll stick with the ways to do things like this. But this is just one farm. We are going to have multiples of these farms, and I'm going to do some more testing, and I want to see if crops like the one right there that are on the red fertilized crops actually grow faster or not. I don't know, I'll have to do some more testing to see, but today's episode has been quite awesome. I'm so glad I was able to automate inside of AE the way we were, because that has been something that hasn't been possible for a long time. So I am super glad that I was able to do that. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you learned something new. Of course, guys, if you did, click that subscribe button. Comment down below if you know a better way in this pack, because I know a lot of you are watching other creators like Dyer and several others that I unfortunately don't have time to watch. So if there is a better way of doing this, I would love to hear from you guys, because there's no better way to learn than to spread the knowledge, of course. So guys, if you would click that subscribe button if you enjoyed today's video, like I said, comment down below, and let's give today's sponsor a huge shout out. And that huge thanks is going to go to Veteran. Thank you so much for your amazing support, by the way, over on the Discord, becoming a Discord premium member and supporting this channel. Thank you so much for your amazing support. And of course, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, I'll see you in the next one. And as always, thanks for watching.